Welcome to Ego Radio. We sit down with brilliant artists in fashion, film, and music, and our mission is to help you get in the minds of creatives and entrepreneurs who are breaking ground. It's easy to make a hit, but it's hard to build a career. How do you stay fresh and curious with your art, work, and life? That's what we're here to find out. And this week, you will be tuning into a conversation with Liam Wilkings, the designer and founder of MAILROOM, a Toronto-based jewelry brand that's been worn by Bille Ellish and featured in Calvin Klein ads. He also co-founded Rolling Runway, a fashion show that takes place on a moving streetcar. Needless to say, we had a really interesting conversation. My name is Ethan. I'll be one of your hosts this episode. I'm a filmmaker and photographer, and I'm joined by Yasin, very talented photographer in his own right. Let's get into it. It's that mix of like understanding what's going on right now in like terms of like culture in the world.
Yeah.
And like then like picking up what resonates with what genuinely resonates with you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And like that's the thing. Like I see a lot of trends and things that like I fuck with that are like going on right now in like the world in terms of fashion and jewelry and all this shit. And like there's a lot of things that I see that I like that I know I could replicate, but like I do it in my own sort of style and like add my own like touch on it to make it more like personal, I guess, maybe, or just like make it to more of like my liking. Yeah. Like I'll see a chain with like a pendant on it that I don't like the pendant, but like I like the chain idea, so maybe I'll flip the pendant, put something else on or something. Like I don't want to just like completely just like grab something that's trending, like just make the exact replication of like,
you're not H&M.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. There's so many people though that hit me up like and they'll send me images of like an influencer or just like this person or this brand that's like made jewelry. Oh my god, Vitali is the funniest one. Everyone always sends me Vitali jewelry and they're like, can you make this but like $30 cheaper? And I'm like, well, I have something similar, but like
you have your MAILROOM version of it.
Yeah, exactly that.
And
like,
Vitali is a crazy brand in its own right too. Like,
they're dope. I have no shade against them. They're dope.
Their origin story is like wild as well.
Yeah,
it's very similar to yours. Where I remember I walked into their store one day. And I spent like a good hour talking to one of the sales associates, and he was just kind of telling me the story of like how Vitali came to be, and it was like it's very similar to what you were mentioning, where it's like I think he went to like Bali or Indonesia, so like something like that, and he saw this like design and he fucked with it, so he made it into a bracelet or a necklace or something like that. Yeah. And then like a bunch of friends just started asking him like, "Yo, where can I get that? Like, where's like what's up with this?" He's like, "I made it." And then that's just kind of how it started. Was it a similar story with you where it was like,
it was kind of, to be honest, like this was right when like MAILROOM started. Before it was called MAILROOM, it was just me making jewelry and fucking around.
Yeah, Liam's room.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Well, that's the whole thing of it. Do you get that? Like mail backwards
is Liam.
Is Liam.
Oh shit! I did not.
So like that's the whole.
I did not get
that's
that.
The whole reason that name exists.
That name
that's funny.
That's
Love that.
How it.
Now we know.
So on my Instagrams, Liam got mail. Because it's just my name backwards.
Let's talk on the origins of
the way
what were you going through before you started doing what you were doing with fashion. Yeah. And what kind of led into creating clothes.
Yeah.
And creating new stuff.
Well, I was managing a store on Queen Street, literally right around here. That was it was just like a men's clothing boutique. And my boy was like the one that opened it up, and so I just like got on board and started running it. And that was like my full-time job, but this was just when I moved downtown. Like this was like.
So is this like post?
This is right after university.
Post-college?
Yeah. After university, I moved back to my parents because I like moved out for college, and I moved back to my parents for like barely 6 months, and I was like, fuck, I need my freedom. Yeah. And like linked up with my current roommate Lex, who I met like that same year, and like within a couple months we just decided to move in together after knowing each other, which was crazy, but we're still roommates, so I guess it's blessed.
So it worked out.
Yeah, I guess it's blessed.
Solid team.
But I like thought I had enough money moving downtown, being like, yeah, I'll be good for rent, and then like I'll just work my ass off, be good. But bro, I don't know, fucking moving downtown some next, and you just don't expect to spend money so quickly. Yeah. And so I literally just was realizing that I needed a second income. And this was, like I said, when pant chains were like coming about. So I decided to like go to one of the shops nearby where my work was that sells like chains and hardware and stuff and try to like make my own pant chain. And I did.
So you went into a hardware store, just picked up like...
Yeah, I just picked up some shit. I just like looked at some stuff and I was like, I feel like that with that. And then I just asked them a bunch of questions. Like, how do I like break like links on a chain? Can I like attach it to like this? And how do I basically just asked them how to make it. Except like with like what hardware I need. And then I just assembled it and then rocked it. And a bunch of people were like, yo, I like that pant chain, because this was like right on cue of when it was trending in Toronto.
Like a fresh version of Lego.
Yeah, and everyone's like, I've been looking for a pant chain like that. Where do you get that? And bro, I used to sell them for like the same price I bought them. I didn't even realize. Like I was just being generous and I didn't really know the market or my value of my products yet. So I was just like buying the chain and then selling them for like the same price. Almost. Like I made like $1 or some shit. Like it was like barely.
Because it wasn't at that point. It wasn't even really about the business. It was just about like
I didn't see it as a business opportunity. Yeah, I literally just, people were just like, yo, I want a chain like yours, and it was just like instant gratification to be able to make something and give it to somebody because they like what I created, right?
Yeah, it was very organic.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Exactly, and then it just came about to like I just realized that like why don't I try to make a business out of this at least, because this was at a point where I was spending money quickly, especially living downtown and paying rent and shit, that I was like, fuck, I need to like actually make money. So then I just tried like hustling it and just like pushing a bit more. And I remember I'd walk around like downtown, like I'd go to work, but I'd be right on Queen Street, and my tote bag that I would like take to work would just be loaded with like a bunch of pant chains. I made like belts back in the day too, just like random simple belts, but I had a bunch of belts, like a few like bracelets. Like it was just like a pop-up shop in my bag where people would just like come by to the store and be like, do you have like that pant chain? Because like somebody told me to come get it off you. Yeah, it was so funny, bro. It was like the weirdest hustle, but it was strictly like pant chains for the most part. And then I like upped the price a bit. And like now I know my shit. Like now I like import stuff where I find like I know I have like a lot of connectors within like the outer regions,
suppliers and
of Toronto. Yeah, like the GTA, where I can like get supplies in for like way cheaper than buying from a store right at Queen and Spadina. Like yeah. So yeah, it's been a process for the last. That's probably been like 2 years since this all began. So.
And it started with chains and bracelets and belts.
Yeah.
And then when did you start upgrading to like pants and clothes? And
I don't do a whole lot of pants and clothes, to be honest. It's mainly my roommate Lex. We just work collaboratively all the time. So any like sort of like garment that you see with my name on it is mainly him, that like I've added my like last minute creative touch or my input so that we can like finalize the piece together, and then we just showcase it like together as well at the same time. It's a team thing. So but he's mainly the brains when it comes to like initiating the idea for like a garment and like actually putting it into production. I'm like the second hand that comes in and I'm like, I don't like that, what if we did this? Like I just give my 2 cents and then like finalize it. Yeah. Working
with people is very interesting. It's sometimes you're blessed by having like an amazing partner that you guys are just on the same wave, and other times it's like
it's so difficult.
Have you had prior experience with working with other people creatively, like aside from Lex?
Not to like, I wouldn't say to like this,
the extent of what you're doing,
the extent of what me and him are doing. Because like he has his own brand, Elephant Tea. I have my own brand, MAILROOM. So he doesn't really even get involved in what I do, and I don't really get involved on what he does, except for when we're like actually like focused on working together. But like he doesn't come over to like my workstation. It's like, yo, I think it'd be better if you made that chain with this. Like he doesn't usually do that. He just does his own thing, and I kind of do my own thing for the most part.
Beautiful coexistence.
Yeah, and I'm honestly lucky to have somebody like him that I can like work so creatively with and also live with, that I'm not like butting heads with all the time. It's kind of it's sometimes an issue mixing like your work or your creative with like just living, like just like a homie, like somebody you're like super comfortable with. Like I can see that being
it
an
adds
issue.
Another level to it.
It does. But like, I don't know, me and him, we just fucking work for the most part. We occasionally fight, but it's just jokes. It's not actually fights. Just like, we're like, yo, fuck you. And it's like, you too. And then we dab each other up. And then it's great.
And then get back to work.
And then we're good. Like it's not actually like an issue. But no, I have had, like I would say some issues working creatively with other people, but it's more of not even like working creatively. It's just more of like working like as like a team to get like a project done,
working as one body
together. I don't know,
especially with fashion, because there's a lot of moving parts in fashion, whether it's designing, even when it comes to runway, not just the models, but the whole behind the scenes with directing the entire project together.
Yeah.
Like take for example what you did with Rolling Runway back like
last year.
Also, yo, Rolling Runway, that was so sick, bro.
Thank you.
That was such an incredible idea.
Thank you. I can't even take all the credit for that.
Yeah.
I have a team of 6, and we're working together again this year to make
like,
it
how
happen.
was that working together with a team of 6? How was
that? Was honestly
experience?
not like there was a 1 or 2 issue with like.
That naturally comes up.
Yeah. Especially when you're working with a bigger group, there tends to be like one person that has a conflict with one person. Like not everybody's gonna always get along.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're lucky. Like for the most part, there's gonna be just like some sort of issue here or there.
That's natural with working.
Yeah. So it's just that's kind of what it was last year too. It was like that was also us figuring it out because we had no idea what the fuck we were getting into. Like we just like it was an idea. It was literally like a light bulb. And our boy like Kwesi, he's the one that like pitched the idea to us. What's wrong? Don't bark at me. He's the one that pitched the idea to us. Like he was the one that came up with like just like a runway on like some sort of transit or transportation.
Yeah.
And then like from there we like decided the streetcar, and then from there we like built it. Don't bark at me.
Liam's dog is in the studio today.
Yeah, my dog's here. What up?
Hey, Maya.
She's chilling though. And then we added on to like being it like a streetcar that like is like a moving thing because it was gonna be stationary, but we were like, no, let's make it move and like go around this route. And then we collaborated with Fashion Arts Toronto to make it like more of a thing and to see if they could help us out a bit, which they didn't really, but it's okay because they helped us get the name out.
You're semi-associated.
Yeah. But in the end, it was still just our show.
Yeah.
And then it was just bringing on like our photographer Mitch and Conrad, our DJ, and then like just a few other creative members to help out with like the whole set design process, while Lex and I were like off just making the pieces. That was our main focus. And oh, she wants to go outside.
Oh.
Yeah, I might have to take her out in a minute. Maya, come here. Come, sit. And then, for that show, I did actually make some pieces. Like, I made, like, full tracksuits. But that was just, like, a test as well. Like, that was really us figuring this out. Like, that show, as much as you think it's sick, I think it's trash. Like, looking back at it.
Like, everyone thinks their old stuff is trash.
That's usually what it is. But
because all you see it for is all the flaws. Like, all you see is the mistakes.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a dope show. Like, we like managed to execute it like amazingly. I don't know how, to be honest, because it was not rehearsed. It was just like all on a whim. The weather for some reason went from hailing that week to being 20 degrees. Like, we just got lucky.
That week was
we got lucky in many occasions with that show. And so, but it was a great experience.
What would you say is the biggest takeaway or thing that you learned from doing, in your words, a trash job, and then after going into the future and how to apply those lessons into, I guess, learning from what you did and building upon that?
Well, I can just give an example for this show. You might have to cut and let me just walk around the block.
That's true.
We could do
cool.
a quick pause. Pause.
We'll be right back.
Right after these sponsors. No sponsors.
What do you want?
Brought to you by Liam's dog.
Quit barking at me.
And we're back.
We are back.
We in this.
We took Maya for a nice walk in the park, and now
she's calm now.
we're chilling. But I guess the one thing that we let's just recap a little bit about what we were just discussing, where kind of like your origin story, not just with MAILROOM but with fashion in general. What tell us about it. What's going on?
Don't shout out RH King.
Born and raised in Chicago, you already know. I did honestly, like I was saying, I didn't really have a fashion sense or like gave a shit about fashion even until I think like I started college, and then that's when I started like caring a little bit because throughout high school I went to a uniform school, so that there you go, like just that, like I didn't need to have a sense of style or whatever in high school. Also, I just didn't really care or know what I was doing.
You were just cool in it.
I was just cool in it, and then it was literally until I got into like college that I was like, oh shit, people try here, and like I'm meeting new people, and like first impressions matter, so like I should maybe try a little harder as well, and just like put a little bit more effort into my outfits, started coming to school a little bit more stylish, getting like a few compliments from people, which made me feel nice, which like made me want to like push more into dressing better. And then yeah, throughout college I just like kind of gained a sense of style. Went like thrifting a lot. That's when I kind of like also discovered thrifting, which is now something that I do every fucking day.
It's like food.
Yeah, yeah. It was literally like food. It's like, oh, I discovered it. I got a little taste, and I was like, oh shit, you can find dope stuff for like really cheap.
Yeah,
like fire. I'm down.
Yeah.
And then just like kept running that in Scarborough because there's great thrift stores in Scarborough.
I feel like thrifting in the burbs is almost like better than thrifting downtown a lot of the
100%.
time.
Dude, I've never found a good thrift spot in Toronto. I mean, in Scarborough.
Really?
Every thrift spot I found, it's like the only thing they sell is broken lamps. Like
the VP in Eglinton one's aight.
Yeah, that one's
the Markham and Lawrence one, fire.
Markham and Lawrence.
Go to that one.
Okay, that's the spot.
Fire. I always find good shit there, like all the time.
Because I end up in the Eglinton, you know, the Eglinton and whatever the fuck.
VP?
No, not VP. A little bit before that, it's like by burrito boys. Okay, it's trash. It's trash.
The Salvation Army, you mean, or the Value Village? There's one
neither. It's like a blue sign.
Oh, National Thrift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I think
that what
so.
you're talking about? Maybe.
Either way, fuck that place.
Okay, sick.
Okay, you said Markham and Lawrence was the...
Markham and Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah, go to that one. That one's hard. I always find good stuff there. But yeah, just like...
You were thrifting and everything.
Thrifting. That's kind of where like I just realized that like you can just recycle clothing and it doesn't have to be new, and it's like some of it can be hype, and like even if it's not like an actual like hype piece, like it doesn't have like a sick brand to it or whatever, it just like looks cool. Like if you fuck with it, you fuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I've adapted my sense of style these days. It's like I go into thrift stores and I just pick out what I like. I don't like check for brand names, or I don't like... Bro, most of the time, my shit doesn't even fit. Like, this shirt is an extra large, and these pants are, like, a 34. And I'm neither of those sizes. And I just, like, crank a belt on, like, super tight, or I'll get my shit tapered, or I'll just taper it myself.
I like that sentence that you just said, actually. It kind of ascends to what you do with MAILROOM, where you said, oh, it's not about the browner, it's not about the status of whatever the clothes is. It's about, like,
it's just
it's dope
like,
shit.
Yeah, like what you like. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's really all that matters. Like, you don't... Because in the end of the day, like, if this shirt is Balmain, who's gonna know? Me? Sick.
Yeah.
Like,
like the tag's in the back. No one's
gonna peek in the back. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your shirt's $500 or $5. As long as you can just like feel comfortable in it and be confident in it, I think that's what matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like how I feel about my own style. If I'm not comfortable in what I'm wearing, even if my pants are 3 times the size of what I usually wear, as long as I'm not comfy, then like I'm not gonna wear it.
Mm-hmm.
But
would that be something that, because you're definitely in the fashion aspect of, or the fashion hustle at least, would that be something that you definitely say to young and upcoming people who are trying to become designers, or something in that field? It's about how you put it together.
Yeah.
And what else would you, if you had a crowd of the cats trying to come up and be fashion designers, is there anything particular that you'd want to say to them that you've learned on your way that you didn't know in the beginning?
That's a lot.
That was a big ass, long ass essay.
Yeah. 4. No,
and
okay.
Why?
For
Justify your answer.
Yeah. For the beginning though, like, if there's anything that I would say to like up and coming designers or people that want to become designers, one, just do it, because there's so many people that are like, yo, I'm about to start my brand. Yo, I have all these ideas for a brand. I hear this on a daily, weekly basis, and they're like, and I'm like, okay, like,
do it.
Yeah, like, just why haven't you just done it? Yeah. Like, that's literally it. Like, there's nothing stopping you from doing it than just you. Like,
I have this vision of pants.
Yeah, it's
give me 3 years.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, when people are like, "Yo, just wait, I'm up and coming," and I'm like, why should I be waiting?
Yeah,
like, show me right now or show me tomorrow. Like, like, just do shit. Like, don't just tell me that you're on the come up when you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Like, and you need to just have that drive.
Where does... Sorry to go on a little tangent, but like for you, like where does that drive come from? Like what is it about? Like what's that? You know that fire in your stomach. You know what I'm talking about when you're like, I gotta make this happen. Like what's your why? Like where does that come from?
A lot of the time, just people that hit me up. Like a lot of the time, it's just like friends or strangers even that are just like, hey, I want this. So like it'll be me making stuff for other people. Is like kind of like when I get the most like just like driven to like make stuff is like when people are needing it, when people request it, because I always want to like fulfill that order, right? Like make that person happy, get them what they want, like for when they need it, because it's usually for like an occasion too. That people are like, oh, I have this like event on Friday, I want to wear like a chain like this, but I don't have it. Could you make it? And I'm like, sure.
You're a gift giver, man. You get satisfied by giving people gifts.
Yeah, no, for real though, it's a great feeling. And then, but like, other than that, like, I don't know. I just like have random drives. Like it's never like it's never like specific. Like it's never like I'm gonna make Tuesday my day to like just create like, or I don't know. It's just like I'll literally be sitting on the couch, just like bored, or just like on my phone, and I'll be like, know what? I have this idea right now, and I'll just go test it. If it works, then it usually just like runs off to be like me spending 3-4 hours at my desk, just like experimenting and like putting shit together and making new pieces. Like you're
so far into it that it's part of your life.
Yeah, it's like a subconscious thing every day that it's like.
There's this really like sick quote that Ethan Nugent actually put me onto. Ethan Nugent of LPHS, shout out LPHS.
Shout out LPHS.
But it's like it's a lifestyle, not a habit, and that's actually a Choker quote.
Yeah.
Like the artist Choker. Yeah. Sick, it's a lifestyle, not a habit, and like that's really what it sounds like to me, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's like your thrifting or your process of coming up with new pieces, it's like it's just how you live at this point, really. Right?
Yeah, because even with thrifting, I wouldn't even say that's a habit. Like it is something that I do almost on a daily basis, so like people could see it as a habit, but a lot of the time I'm not even like thrifting for me even per se. Like I'm thrifting for pieces to like rework, to like maybe put into a collection, or like thrifting stuff for like friends that I know like would fuck with it. Like that's why I always just post random shit on my story that when I'm thrifting, because then most people are like, yo, give me this bag. Like how much was this bag? Like I'll buy it off you.
Like,
you don't even buy it off me, just like buy it for the price that it is. I'll just pick it up for you. Like it's not even like I'm going there every day to find shit for me. Like then I have a lot of fucking clothes. And I don't need a lot of fucking clothes because I already have a lot of clothes. But, I don't know. Back to your question.
What was the rest?
So back to Yasin's question, which
was like, a long question, bro.
Essentially, like if you're like for all the people who are like coming up right now, right? Like they're trying to get into the fashion game. Fashion is what inspires them. Fashion is what moves them. But like practically, like actually executing is very different from being inspired by something, right?
It's true.
So like what kind of knowledge would you drop on them about like how to like really like, and I guess what you were going at was like just do it.
Yeah,
really,
just
right?
do it is like the main thing. Because honestly, I'm not even that knowledgeable when it comes to this. Like it's
you were
funny.
even but you were even saying how. I'm like blanking on what you were saying, but you just said just do it. Oh yeah, you were saying how like with the runway. Okay, I remember what you were saying.
Go on.
Okay, with the runway you said, we didn't even have any prior experience. We just went out and did it.
Yeah.
We didn't like have we didn't fully know.
You didn't have a lot of rehearsals. You didn't have a lot of.
You just went for it.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like you took the chance. You took the risk.
We made it look professional, which is the craziest shit, because none of us are professionals. But we somehow made it look like to the extent that we did. But like Conrad's a DJ and has been DJing for like a couple of years, but like is no way has ever done like a show
on a moving vehicle.
And also like involving sound design in it to like make like this, like when you get on, like we had like sounds that we recorded that were like, welcome to the Rolling Runway. Like we made it like a professional thing, and just like the little details like that. And like, just from all of our ends, like none of us are professionals. We're all just like kids figuring it out. And then we kind of figured it out for this show, and then just took a risk. And like, that's the biggest thing too, is just like taking the risk, like just doing it, taking the risk. They kind of fall on the same sort of like thing, but just like, if you don't take the risk to just do it, then you're not going to do it. You're not going to know if it's going to succeed or if it's going to fail. If it fails, then fuck it, try again, do something else. Like, I don't know. I'm really not the best person to like, I feel like ask like, what advice would you give? Because I barely even know at this point. Like, I'm just
you can't put it to words. But you feel it. You just trust your gut.
Yeah, that's it.
It sounds like you almost have like a just fuck it attitude, where it's like
I do.
Just like,
I
do
100% do. Like no doubt of a lie. Like 100%. I just like for the most part, it's just something that I'm thinking about on like a daily basis, not even like consciously but subconsciously. And it just like when it comes around like to like want to create, I'll just do it. Like I'll just be like, fuck it, let's go.
Currently, do you have any endeavors in your mind in the very near future where you're like, all right, this is the this is the, I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know if we're going to succeed or fail. It doesn't matter. This is the risk that we're going to take right now, moving forward, whether it's the next few weeks or next few months.
Yeah, that's mainly like Rolling Runway 2.
Rolling Runway. So you're going to do a part 2?
Yeah, 100%. It was actually announced a while ago. We announced it that we were doing a part 2. And the date was supposed to be at the end of May. But due to issues and complications from the TTC, which we've already explained as well on social media, because everyone keeps asking, like, where's the show? We are just dealing with...
Working with people. You're working with people.
It's not even us, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like, we're ready. Like, my bad. We're, like, yeah, we're chilling. Like, Lex and I have been working on the pieces forever. We have the set design ready. We've engineered sound design. We're basically good to go. It's just, like, getting...
Approval from the TTC.
To just get them to give us the go-ahead and for us to just pay them.
Yeah.
Then we've got it locked, and then we hop on the streetcar, set it up, do the show, take it down.
So right now what you're saying is you literally have everything, all your side of...
All the pieces of the puzzle are there, except for the one main one, which is the TTC.
Actual...
Yeah.
That's
like,
rough,
it's like
man.
that middle piece. Yeah. Those like middle 5. Yeah. Those are there.
So like honestly, like let's just get together, build a streetcar, toss it on there, like fuck
build
it,
your own streetcar,
right?
Yeah.
No, this is literally it. Oh,
but again, this even sounds like a lesson that's on your way, on your whatever path to becoming bigger and bigger. Just another lesson to learn about like how to deal with positions where this opportunity's kind of closed off and you gotta like figure it out on the way.
Yeah, bro. Not everything works out to plan. Like not everything works out the way you expect it to. Because like our expectations going into this. Oh, hold up! I need to renew my session for my parking.
Yeah.
It's cool. We have another sponsor.
Shouts out.
Brought to you by Green Pea.
Here, I just
brought to you by
parking in Toronto.
MAILROOM.
No, it's late. It's late. I just did it. Hold on. Yeah, we just did it. We're good. We got another hour.
Sick. Okay.
Not trying to get a ticket.
But no, not everything works out. Like,
yeah,
we were so confident in this show last year, and like, well, we weren't really confident, but like we did it like pretty easily. Like we set up everything like without like an issue with the TDC. We like ran the show. There was no hazards. There was no like issues on board. Like everybody was safe. It was very smooth. Like I said, it was like we got super lucky last year. And then this year comes around and it's like everything that went smoothly last year is just the exact opposite this year. It's like nothing is going our way. It's like everything, like, yeah, we were like given like a gift from God for fuck's sake. Like it was just like, we'll let you have this one chance and like to like surprise and like amaze like Toronto scene, whatever. And then this year they're like, yeah, but we're going to make it a lot harder this year for you.
Yeah.
And like this is like the real push for us to like see also just the mental capacity of our team. And if we're like really down for wanting to do this show, like if we're all super committed as we were last year, even though last year was just like a walk in the park. This year it's like walking through a tornado.
Yeah.
It's not,
a little extreme, but
yeah. But my whole team is still just as much about it as they were last year when we had like no issues than going through all these issues that we have this year. So that's also a really important thing, I think, when like just working creatively, and especially with a brand, if you're working with a partner, is just have a strong, stable team that's like always down. You know what I mean? Like even through the hard parts, like because not everything's gonna be easy. It's just to always like have that support going through it. You know.
Do you feel like, oh, sorry, man.
I'm gonna take it.
Go for it.
I don't know this number. I'm just not gonna.
Tell them to fuck off. Anyways,
hello, fuck off.
But yeah, so like, just like practically, like, how do you like curate a team like that? Like for people who are trying to,
ask the same question.
Yeah, like for people who are trying to build that, do you feel like it's just like real recognizes real?
Yeah.
Like,
because you naturally found or developed your relationship with Lex.
Yeah. Just from meeting him and us just having like similarities about both being into fashion and both being super extra all the time, and and then just overall it's just the way we just our connection, our relationship is just very similar to like we're both very similar beings, and the rest of my team is just like been homies. Like Conrad has been my friend for like just as long as Lex has, if not longer, I think. And then like, but I just like his work ethic. I just like who he is as a person. And it's the same goes for Mitch. Mitch is super responsible all the time. Who's like our photographer, fuck Dex, or Dex IRL. Sorry,
Dex is dope.
Yeah, Dex. And then just, yeah, everybody on the team, Quasi, Rachel, like all of our team members, they're all just like friends, homies. I wasn't like in a fucking casting where I was like, I'm casting team members. It's just like, it's just,
it just came together.
Like you guys are a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you guys are already a strong team. Like,
and we didn't even cast each other.
Yeah, that was like the
you
most
guys are just homies.
freaking
This is all organic probably. Like this is just like an idea that
it started on a phone.
Huh?
This started on a phone.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta start small and grow big. This is dope. Next, you might have a videographer. Like, if you know a sick videographer, I mean, you already.
I don't know. I don't know anyone. I don't know. Rayo's kind of trash.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But.
Not just kidding.
Fuck Rayo. I love him. We're married.
But also, fuck this guy.
Yeah. But we're married. But so, you were saying about how so the relationships that you developed came natural, but before you met those relationships, well, you had them on the back burner. Mm-hmm. But before they fully developed into the working relationships that it was, it kind of sounds like before you approached it as bringing someone on, you were just working on your own.
Yeah.
And building yourself to have a good work ethic in yourself. Yeah. And then naturally, people who resonate or who have a similar vibe, they come along on the way.
Yeah, exactly. And like, we'll just keep using Rolling Runway as an example because we're talking about it. But that started with just me and Lex meeting up with Quasi, who's the guy that like gave us the idea. And he's a lot of like the behind the scenes sort of just planning. And like, the relationships with like the connections and stuff. He just came to Lex and I with the idea, right? Like he's like, this is the idea I want to do. So me and Lex, I met up with him and then we started talking. And then it wasn't until like we got through planning of like the route and like the idea for the show and the models that I then like talked to Mitch and I was like, well, I just like realized, I was like, we need more than just Lex, myself, and Quasi. Like we need like a bigger team. And I was like, a photographer. Yeah. So I hit up Mitch instantly because he's like my go-to and like my number one boy. And then like, we're like, we need a sound person. It's just like, it all just like kind of came together the more I thought about it, right? But it all made sense. And it was all like, we've all worked so well together that it's just, it's like also one of the lucky things about this entire show is just the fact that we've had such like a good, strong team and we're still going just as strong. Yeah.
So Runway, my opinion, was dope. You had a couple other runways on its way. We're not going to speak about some of them. No. But one of my favorite ones that you guys did recently was with LPHS.
Yeah. That was dope. Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit about how you got in touch with Ethan Nigjuin.
Yeah, Ethan's a great creative individual. That's like a really good like working team is like him. Like he knows just lie down. Calm down. He just like, he knows what he's doing. He's got like the most drive I've seen in like a young person. And just, he's super like resourceful too, which like really helps with what he's doing. And so he came up to me, just asked if I was down to do this with this whole concept of just doing a bunch of runways, showcasing his brand. And then, I think he's also just very good at choosing the people that he fucks with and wants to work with. And I just happen to be one of those people, which is a great experience for the both of us to like, to do that show together. So shouts out you, guy.
It's been like, even from the first event, which unfortunately I couldn't be here for, but like just seeing LPHS has been going on for a long time. Like Ethan's been running it since high school. Yeah. But like realistically seeing that happen from like the first event to what I know is coming at the end of June. Yeah. I don't know if it's announced yet, but either way, this is dropping after it's been announced. So like the event that's coming at the end of June now, I think June 22nd, like the growth is like exponential. Yeah. It's like it's crazy. It's wild what they're doing.
Yeah, bro. I remember when he came up to me. This is before I even like knew Ethan. We can just talk about Ethan because he's cute. This was like before I even knew him. Basically, I just knew him through like affiliation. He like messaged me and was like, "Yo, I want to meet with you because like I fuck with your brand. Like I want to ask you some questions." And like he kind of came to me with the same questions you guys are asking now about like how to like go forward and how to like move forward in a brand, because he like had his brand started with like his hoodies and stuff, but like this was after Rolling, so he wanted to know like in terms of like runways how to kind of get started and like and in what ways I can help. And like we sat in like the food court at Eden Center and like talked shit for like half an hour, and he was showing me some new designs and he wanted me to like collaborate on them. And then he had this whole different idea for like a runway on a beach. I don't know, like it was some next, but like it was super cool just to like see his mind and see him like grow from that to like the shows he's doing now. And like what? And yeah, it's just funny that he came to me like before all of these shows. I think she just needs some
attention.
She does. I know. I think that's what it is. Come here. Come here. All right, okay, I guess not.
But yeah, so he came to you before the shows. And
before all
like,
this was like a year ago. This is before like this whole year of his his new idea of shows has been a thing. This was literally before I even knew him, before he did the first show. Yeah. This was just like our one of our first like actual like formal meetings and sit downs to like get to know each other, I guess. And just for him to pick my brain was mainly his like reasoning, because I'm like older than him, so he thought like I had experience when like really I don't have that much more experience. Like it was
a coexistence.
Yeah, it was just that it was this Rolling Runway that got attention from a lot of people. So
yeah. So was Rolling Runway your first like big project that you took on?
Yeah.
Kind of. Cause
what's wrong? Sorry, I just don't want her to continue barking while we're doing this. Cool. You were so calm. Like
if Maya wants a hug, I give free hugs.
Come here. Okay. I don't know what she wants, to be honest.
Money.
Lie down.
Bitches, man. Bitches.
Okay, so kind of sidestep in a little bit.
Yeah.
Me, Ethan, we're like photographers, videographers, so we understand kind of like the photography hustle, where it's you shoot some models, you develop some stuff, you put together some lookbooks, whatever, you build your portfolio that way. Me, fashion's kind of foreign to me. The land, from everything I've learned from you, it's kind of the fashion hustle is put together garments, put together pieces, sell them, sell like whatever those pieces are, put together a collection, put together a runway. Is there anything else I'm missing in the beginning kind of stages? Because I'm also interested to hear like what kind of fashion endeavors that you haven't done already that you're interested in doing going forward.
Yeah.
Like so far you have you have selling.
Yeah.
You've done a couple runways.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I'm just kind of going along with it.
You're going with it.
I'm going with what feels right and what I want to do. And like if a run is what I want to do, then I'm just going to execute it. If it's just like making a bunch of pieces and selling it in like different stores is what I want to do, then I'm just going to do that. If I just want to do a pop-up, then I'm going to do a pop-up. Like it's really not like too much to think in depth about. And then I don't know, for the future, I guess just like branching outwards of Toronto, because I'm super like comfortable in Toronto right now, and I'm but that's where like the majority of my clients are, and the majority of like the people that know me and know my brand are very Toronto based, so it makes sense. But yeah, like I need to not be so comfortable here, I think, like moving forward in the next year, just because I'm gonna get stuck here, and I'm just gonna like only rely on the people in Toronto to help me grow, which like as much as Toronto is great for like putting people on in a sense, like here and there, I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough is what I think.
And not just that, like if you stay with what's been working in the past, you're bound to die. Like it's like you have to keep pushing, otherwise it's like
you can't just stay in one place because you're comfortable there. Like you gotta take that risk. Like we said, like you just gotta move forward a little bit, like push outside the boundaries and experience new things, taste new things, or whatever the hell, right?
If you could choose any city that is going to be your next, I guess, heist mission, place of attack, what city would you go towards?
In terms of like best for...
In terms of want.
Yeah, I would say in terms of like, for want and like just best in terms of like a marketing strategy, where I think a lot of my stuff would do well and just like me as a person would like kind of flourish would probably be LA. Because I know a lot of the shit that I do is like, that's the second place that's noticed a lot from my brand. Like I'll have people from LA hit me up. It'd just be like, oh, I saw, because I have friends that are also in LA that wear my shit all the time. Yeah. So they'll be like, oh, I met your friend who wears this, wants one, like ship it to LA. So definitely, yeah, definitely probably LA. I think if I'm staying within Canada, Vancouver, because they have like a big crowd for what I do as well out there, and like I've shipped a bunch of stuff to Vancouver. But yeah, if I'm going to the States, LA. If I'm going international, Korea, 100%.
Oh, that's interesting that you say
Why Korea?
Because Korea loves fucking K-pop earrings. That's why.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So what are K-pop earrings?
Like,
Drop some knowledge on me.
Like hanging
dangly
earrings.
shits.
Yeah, dangly earrings. The ones with a cross.
Yeah.
And then there's chain behind
okay.
it. Or the ones that like go up and attach up here. Yeah, all that stuff. I can like make all those so easily, and they're fun to make.
Yeah.
And I wear like the majority of them too. But yeah, they like I was in Korea for a couple weeks, and I swapped like earrings like every other day, and at least somebody with like not knowing English would try to like tell me that they liked my earring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck.
Gotta open up a Korea location.
Yeah, I was trying to do a pop-up out there, but I don't know. I can't speak Korean, so
like honestly, like the biggest thing that like I'm taking away is that like it seems like everything's like mad organic. Like it's just like what you feel like doing, so you're doing it.
Yeah.
How do you stay aligned with yourself and like you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like practically
yourself,
like just in a very like practical sense, right? A lot of people face like resistance towards like they may have it like exactly what we just talked about, where it's like people have these ideas and they'll talk about it and they'll talk about it and they'll talk about it, right? But like actually executing it requires you to be like very like I feel like the reason that you're able to have this like just fuck it, just do it attitude is because like you know that it's what you really want.
Yeah.
How do you stay in touch with that, with knowing what you really want? Or do you not? Is it just like that's just who I am?
Yeah, it's kind of like for the most part, it's kind of just who I am.
Yeah.
But it's also like a balance between like I think the work side of me and like the business side of me, and then just like me as a person.
Did you say the worst side of me? Is that what you said?
No, work.
The work side of you.
The work side of me.
Work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
The hustle.
Yeah.
And then just like whatever the other one is, just calm, just like me.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I'm not like always like my mind isn't always set on like mailroom or like business or like money or like what's next. It's just like a lot of the time I'm actually the opposite, and I'm just like chilling and just like focusing on what like I want to do personally for myself. And if that's just like going out and buying groceries, like that's what that is. Like to like mix the two between not just always like working myself on mailroom, and then not just being too chill all the time. You know what I mean? Not just sitting at home and playing video games 8 hours a day. But then not working creatively 8 hours a day. Because I find if you overwork creatively, sometimes you don't put out the product you want. And there's been times where like I felt like I just needed to get a bunch of shit done. So I've just like made stuff, and then I just didn't see the results I wanted from like people trying to buy my products or people interested in it. They just weren't, because it wasn't like true to like who I was. It was just like me making stuff because I felt like I needed to make stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the main thing is
trial and error is kind of what you're saying. Like just keep trying shit, seeing what works for you, seeing what doesn't work for you.
100%. And then just learning that balance between like your like your work self and then just like your mental self. Like it's you can't just constantly be on one or the other. Like you need to take time for yourself as much as you need to put time into what you really want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it's the ebb and flow and the balance.
Yeah. I spend a lot of time with friends when I'm just like.
Where do you find your biggest source of inspiration? I guess when you're not in that work ethic or mentality, what do you? Well, you just said friends, so
yeah,
like,
I'm gonna say that though.
Yeah.
Friends, 100%. Like that's where I spend the most amount of my time if I'm not like focusing on my work, is my friends. And my friends love to push me, which is what I love too. Like my friends will always be like, "This is sick. Can you make this?" Like, will send me stuff. Or like if they don't see that I'm being creative, like they'll be like, "Hey, like what's going on? Like I haven't seen you been like active," which is like weird sometimes too, because it's like, why are you checking on me so much?
Yeah. Why do you care about me?
Yeah. But they're like, I haven't seen anything from MAILROOM recently. Like, are you working on new stuff? Like, and then that just like clicks the light in my head to be like, fuck yeah. Like, they're right. Like I should work on some stuff.
Yeah.
That's good to have that good circle of people around you to bring you up, and you bring them up, and it's again,
you want to keep people around you that keep you inspired. That's like the biggest thing.
Not even just working with people, being around people and choosing the people you want to be around.
Yeah, because there's a lot of great people. There's a lot of dope people out there, and I'm I know a bunch of people that are like super cool that I hang with on like a majority, like a regular basis, or like I'm affiliate with. But a lot of the people that I'm like maybe chilling with, I honestly don't find to be like the most inspiring. Like, yeah, you're a great person, like you're fun to be around, but like you're not driving me creatively to be like where I want to be or to help me to get where I want to be. Like you're just like good entertainment, like good vibes, which is like great.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. It's just like the people that I keep close to me are the ones that inspire me.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
It's when you know yourself and you know exactly what you want to do and where you want to be, then naturally you want to keep around you not only people, but the things that you do to help you get towards, I guess, the path that you know you need to be.
Yeah.
Whatever definition that is.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I agree with you. It's exactly what it is.
100. So like moving forward, it's just like staying on the same path of figuring out what it is you're feeling in that moment, making that repeat.
Yeah. Basically. That's how I see it right now. Like there's like down the road, there's probably like a lot more logistics to it. Like, I'm gonna need like a manager or something. I don't know. Or like,
do you see MAILROOM growing to like Louis Vuitton like size like type stuff, or is it just it's just like
no, not that. Like I don't think it. I don't know. Maybe it could. I just wouldn't want to.
Yeah. Just where you are right now. You don't want to.
No, I just think that's like too much to like handle. Like I wouldn't be able to do it all by myself, obviously, but that would just be like too overwhelming for me. Like I don't also want to have that status where I'm like this high up luxury brand, like super posh. Like I don't know. It's just that's not.
Do you feel like being up there? There's kind of like an expectation to, in the public eye, there's an expectation, and that's just like, why do you want to? Why do you want to have that?
The expectation for Louis Vuitton is just like everything's got to be like perfect.
Yeah.
Like pristine, expensive. Like that's like a certain type of clientele. And my clientele right now is nowhere like that, and I'm totally cool with that because all those like the thing that I have in common with my clientele is like they're basically like me. Like I wouldn't spend $1,000 on a bracelet, and neither would my clients. So like that's why I'm making it for $30 or $20, whatever the fuck it is, right? Because I would pay like as much as like the next person for my stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna charge somebody more than what I would pay. Yeah.
You're in it for it's just what you would do.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I see my brand, like just being very just like authentic as it is, like going forward. Like I want to cater to the people. Yeah. And I want to cater to like the majority too. Like all the people, because we're all like in the same kind of like struggle and also just like hustle in life. We're just like kids figuring it out, and like none of us have a whole lot of money, but all of us want to look fly. Like
Ethan's a secret billionaire, actually.
Oh fuck!
Secret.
He's Gotham.
Damn.
Yeah.
I won't tell that to anybody. We'll just cut that out. Yeah.
But exactly what you're saying, where we're doing what we love.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
we're not working for a living, bro. We're living for a living.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. For MAILROOM, I just kind of see it going until it stops, kind of thing. But never not being true to myself.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Amen.
She agrees.
Shit. And I think is that a good place to end it? What
one lasting question.
Go for it.
Yeah. Because she's anxious.
She's getting antsy.
Kind of stepping a little bit more outside of the fashion, and just I'm interested to hear everything that you've done when you started MAILROOM and where you are right now. Is there any at least big takeaway? Because doing MAILROOM, that's life changing, bro. That definitely has an impact on your life.
Oh yeah.
I'm interested to hear
creating my own brand.
Exactly.
And, like, doing it. Oh, she's getting real antsy. You want to fight, dog? Oh, she wants to fight. You want to fight? Yeah.
Like, it's so cute.
I know, but she's a little crazy sometimes.
But yeah, last question would be, what's the, I guess, biggest thing you learned about yourself, and just as a human on Earth, what's the biggest thing that MAILROOM has taught you?
That, honestly, fuck, I don't know. Like I wasn't really that creative as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
So like this is kind of like my outlet now to seeing that like I can just do shit on my own, and that like that like you don't, I don't know. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to get at.
Is it kind of like you see that like it was for your own independence? Like you have like that
because like
confidence.
I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. And
Yeah.
like this is something that like it seems to be working, and like it makes me happy, and like I just want like everyone to kind of experience that. Like if there's something that drives you every day to do it, then like I would just fucking do it, even if it's like a weird ass thing. Like even if it's like collecting stones, like you know what I mean? Not like collecting
stamps,
rocks,
stones.
Like I don't know, maybe one day you'll find a diamond,
Yeah.
and then like that diamond will make you rich, or I don't know, or it'll be like the last diamond on earth, and then you'll be discovered for being like I don't know, bro. Like it's hard to explain like the way I feel about like creating my brand and where it's gotten me now, because if you were to ask me like 3 years ago if I would be in this place where I am now, I would say no fucking clue. Because like literally 3 years ago, I didn't even know anything about jewelry making or like where to start or even giving it a second thought about something that I wanted to do. So like how my brand is and just like how I am, it's all been like very organic, but I'm just like super thankful for like where I've gotten and like the opportunities this brand has like taken me, just because like I would have, like a lot of the who I am now and like the things that I've done and things I've seen, it would just all happen through like that name, just MAILROOM, which is crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful place.
That's fantastic. Thank you for your time, man. It's been a fun time.
No worries. Maya liked this too.
See you later, Maya, and we'll see you next week.
We out.